It happened on a Tuesday morning I'll never forget. I was on the Red Line, coffee in one hand, phone in the other, the whole train smelling like wet coats and impatience. 2 stops before downtown, this little girl with a pink backpack got shoved so hard she almost toppled over. The woman who shoved her yelled loud enough for the whole car to hear, "You are not my daughter." People froze, eyes darting anywhere but at them. And me. I just stood there for a second, heart pounding. You ever see something so wrong you can't unsee it? That was my moment. I bent down to the kid's level and said, "Hey, you okay?" She flinched like I was going to hit her too. That cracked something open inside me. I introduced myself. Max Pierce. She didn't say a word, just clutched that backpack like it had oxygen in it. The woman stormed off at the next stop, and just like that, this kid was alone in the world. I could have pretended I didn't notice. I could have told myself, not my problem. But I remembered another little girl, my sister Ellie, who disappeared from a playground when we were both kids. I never forgave myself for not being there. So I stayed. I bought her hot chocolate and a grilled cheese from the station kiosk. She still wouldn't talk, wouldn't even sit. I turned my phone off first time in years and just sat with her. After a while, she started following me at a distance, like a stray cat checking if the door's really open. We ended up at my apartment, the top floor of a glass tower where no kid should have to sleep on the floor. But she did anyway, backpack under her head like a pillow. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to her whispering, "You're gonna leave too, huh?" My throat closed. "Not tonight," I said. "Not tomorrow either." The next morning I opened that backpack. Inside was a letter, edges worn soft. Her mom, Teresa, begging whoever found her daughter to take her to a retired teacher named Miss Rowe, warning about a man named Daryl Kent. My hands shook reading it. So this wasn't some subway tantrum. This was a child on the run from something real. I called the only person I trusted with something like this, Margaret, a social worker who'd pulled me out of my own chaos once. She came over, gentle eyes scanning the girl, then me. "She's terrified," Margaret said. "You'll need legal cover and a trauma plan." We found Miss Rowe at a library where she was shelving donated books. The moment she saw the girl, she dropped the stack and whispered, "Anna," and reached out, hands trembling. Anna stayed stiff, but she didn't pull away when Miss Rowe hugged her. Meanwhile, trouble brewed. My investigator, Jonas, flagged that Kent was already sniffing around online, feeding a gossip podcast, a twisted story. Billionaire kidnaps child. My stomach flipped. I'd spent my whole life controlling narratives, and now a child's safety depended on me doing it right. So I hired Evelyn Hart, a family lawyer who doesn't blink when men like me walk into her office. She filed for emergency guardianship, a restraining order, and started building a case brick by brick. That night, Anna whispered, "He said if Mama told he'd take me." I felt heat crawl up my neck. I promised her, "He's not taking you. Not while I'm breathing." First court date came fast. The courtroom smelled of old wood and tension. Kent sat at the back in a cheap suit, smirking. Miss Rowe testified about Teresa's fears, Margaret about the trauma signs. When the judge asked Anna if she wanted to speak, she nodded, stepped onto a stool and said into the mic, "He hurts my mom. He tried to hurt me." Her voice cracked but didn't break. The whole room went silent except for Kent's attorney coughing. The judge granted me temporary custody on the spot. But Kent didn't back off. A week later, he accidentally showed up at a bookstore where Anna and I were signing papers. Jonas caught him on video violating the restraining order, still smirking like rules don't apply to him. Evelyn filed the footage with the court. We dug deeper: hospital records, nurse notes, old police reports. Teresa had left a trail of fear, but also proof. Each paper we found was another nail in his story. Anna started to thaw in small ways. Pancake breakfasts, ferry rides across the bay, drawing paper stars for her ceiling. But every night, She still checked the locks, twice. I knew the war wasn't over. Then came the permanent custody hearing. We laid it all out. Miss Rowe's affidavit, Margaret's evaluation, the therapist's letter, the bookstore footage, even a handwritten note from Anna to the judge. Kent tried to play the victim. His lawyer sneered at me. "You're buying a child for your image." I leaned forward and said, "If this was about image, I'd have sent her back to the subway." Judge banged the gavel. Permanent sole custody to Mr. Pierce. 10-year restraining order. My knees almost gave. Anna just squeezed my hand under the table and whispered, "We can go home now." Home. That word hit like a freight train. She wasn't asking about a building, she was asking if safety was real. A month later, I got invited to a fatherhood panel run by Bright Futures where Kent was trying to rehab his image. My advisors begged me not to go, but I did. Sat in the back until the Q+ at an A. When they gave him the mic, he launched into a speech about men's rights and false accusations. My jaw clenched. I walked up, took the mic, and said, "Fatherhood isn't about rights. It's about responsibility. This child didn't need saving. She needed someone to stay." I stayed. I handed the mic back and walked out. No drama, no grandstanding, just the truth hanging in the air. That night, Anna asked, "Did they believe you?" I said, "The right people did." She nodded and went back to hanging her paper stars. One day she'll wake up and realize she didn't think about fear at all. Maybe that's the day she'll start to believe in forever. So here I am telling you this story not because I'm a hero, but because a 6-year-old girl reminded me what it means to show up. Showing up costs time, sleep, reputation. Sometimes it costs everything. But staying changes lives. What do you think? Was I right to step in? Was the system fair, or did money tilt the scale? How many kids are out there tonight with no one to stay for them? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me if you've ever witnessed something that made you step in, or if you wish someone had stepped in for you. And if you believe staying is louder than saving, hit like, subscribe, and share this story, because somewhere someone might be on the edge of doing the right thing, and your share could be the nudge they need.